Everyone can move forward, please, as much as you can. Make room for the people coming in. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهدي الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا وحبيبنا وقرة أعيننا قائد الغر المحجلين وشفيع المذنبين وسيد ولد آدم ولا فخر محمد بن عبد الله الهاشمي القرشي وعلى آله وأصحابه وأزواجه وذرياته ومن اهتدى بهديه واستنى بسنته إلى يوم الدين تركنا المحجة البيضاء ليلها كنهارها لا يزيغ عنها إلا هالك ثم أوصيكم ونفسي العاصية بتقوى الله كما أمر الله عز وجل في كتابه العزيز حيث يقول يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم إن زلزلة الساعة شيء عظيم يوم ترونها تذهل كل مرضعة عما أرضعت وتضع كل ذات حمل حملها وترى الناس سكارى وما هم بسكارى ولكن عذاب الله شديد ثم أما بعد. All praise and gratitude is due to the Lord, the unique, the sole sustainer of the universe, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I beseech and implore Him to forgive us our missteps, mistakes, and transgressions. And I ask Him to offer His most salient and beautiful blessings and communications upon His last and final Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and upon his kin, his companions, and all those who follow his way and guidance to the last day. He has left for us a clear, pristine path. Its day is as its night in its clarity, and all those who waver from it will find nothing but misery. This is the last Jum'ah of 2019. In fact, it's the last Jum'ah of the decade, of the 2010s. And usually at this time of year, for those who work in the financial sector or those who work in the technical sector, it's a time for review. It's a time to look at the accomplishments of the past year and to see the income levels and to look at our balance sheets and our profit loss statements and see how we've done for the past year. Very busy time of year that will be coming up after the holiday. Yet how many of us think about this and care to do this when we do it for the most important and consequential thing, more important than how our companies did, how our factories did, how our schools have done, more important than all of those combined? How have we done? It's reported that the Prophet ﷺ said, حاسبوا أنفسكم قبل أن تحاسبوا وفي رواية موتوا قبل أن تموتوا. Take yourselves into account before you are taken into account, and die before you die. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also says in the Quran, يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله ولتنظر نفس ما قدمت لغد واتقوا الله إن الله خبير بما تعملون. O you who believe, let your soul look at that which it will bring forth for tomorrow, and have taqwa, have God consciousness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For Allah is well acquainted and well informed with all that you do. So clearly, there is this type of muhasaba, and it's the same word in Arabic as in English, hisab, accounting, taking into account. So what is the thing then that we're taking into account exactly? Do I count how many Jum'ahs I have attended? Did I attend all 52 in the last year? Or all 520 in the last decade? Is that kind of the criteria, the barometer? Do I count how many prayers I've prayed in that time? 5 prayers a day for 52 weeks, 270 prayers times 10, 2,700. How many Ramadans I have fasted? How much my income level has risen? Is that what the Prophet ﷺ meant? حاسبوا أنفسكم قبل أن تحاسبوا. Take yourself into account before you are taken into account. And is that what the verse, the sacred verse of the Quran meant? وَلْتَنْظُرْ نَفْسٌ مَا قَدَّمَتْ لِغَدٍ. It's an interesting word, this word نظر. وَلْتَنْظُرْ فعل أمر. لام الأمر, as they say in Arabic language. Look into this. نظر. Think about it. Contemplate it. Spend time on it. The ulama, they used to talk about a certain class of people, a distinct class of people. أهل النظر. أهل النظر. What's أهل النظر? The people of nazar, the people who can contemplate. The people who have نور الحكمة ونور العقل, who have the light of wisdom and the light of their intellect that informs all that they do and how they see things. So here, the most important thing to see, the most important thing to contemplate, what have you prepared for tomorrow? Which tomorrow is this talking about? Next week? 2020? 2021? This tomorrow could be actually tomorrow for some of us. And certainly there are people who are living that tomorrow right as we speak, right now in this moment. That tomorrow has already come upon them. They have taken their last breath. And now all that remains for them is the muhasabah. All that remains for them is to be taken into account. So this tomorrow could be far away, could be years away, could be decades away for some of us, or it could be weeks, or it could be days. And that's an interesting proposition, because usually we're used to the idea of a schedule. And here's when you're going to have to think about the accounts periodically, right? Then you come to December, early January, then you take a year, sort of look at it, fiscal year. But this doesn't work like that. Our souls, the tomorrow, the real tomorrow of the soul can be any moment. We can go to sleep tonight and that tomorrow will be tomorrow, literally. So everybody's akhirah, everybody's muhasabah begins when they take their last breath. Now I'm going to share something personal with all of you. The last 2 months, I lost both my father and my father-in-law within 57 days of each other. I buried my father-in-law 2 weeks ago. I placed him in his grave. I washed his body. And I went down in the grave to place his body. And I did the same exact thing for my own father 2 months earlier than that, in October 14th. I washed his body, and I went down into the grave, and I placed his body in the grave. Nothing was as real in my life as that moment. All the years that they lived, my father lived to be 77, alhamdulillah. And my father-in-law lived to be 88, died on his birthday even. All that they lived, all that they prepared, all that they ever knew, all that they loved, all came down to that moment when they took their last breath. And then they're placed in their grave. And then we pray for them. We read Fatiha for them. We read Yasin for them. Then we place them inside the grave. We cover the dirt. And we walk away. Such almost an anticlimactic ending to all of this. But yet at the same time, so beautiful. And so poignant. And so profound. From that very place that we came from, we go back to. And the real home, we go back to. where we always were. So to me, muhasabah means reacquaint yourself, think about where your home is. Because this is not home. This is temporary. And all that we do, all that we manage to put together in this life, literally is meaningless if it doesn't help us in the next life. In that moment, we're in our graves, and the two angels come to speak to us, and they ask us those three questions. What is your deen? Who is your Lord? Who is your prophet? And how you answer those questions, it's not like a test of intellect to say the right answer. It's either in your heart or it's not in your heart. Either you lived it in your life or you didn't live it in your life. So, thabat fi su'al, to be firm in the one true question. All the tests that we take our whole life, SATs and MCATs and LSATs and high school diploma and all the sorts. The real test, the real questions, who is your Lord, what is your deen, and who is your prophet? That's the real test. And in order to answer that test, to do it right, you have to live it your whole life. And in reality, this muhasabah that I'm talking about, taking into account, it shouldn't happen once in the year, once in the decade. It should happen every day. Every day there should be a muhasabah. Every day you should look into yourself and have this nadar, to have this contemplation. ماذا أقدم لآخرتي? What am I bringing forth for the real life, for the next life? And in the next part of the khutbah, I'm going to talk about how we actually go about doing that, how we actually go about contemplating that in the manner that which we should, inshallah ta'ala. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه فإن التائب من الذنب كمن لا ذنب له. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد عدد كمال الله وعلى آله وكما يليق بكماله. So this muhasabah, what is the most important step? What is the most important thing about thinking about what you're going to bring forth? The most important thing has to be preceded by and accompanied by the nadar, the contemplation of what Allah has given you. This is the pivotal thing about it. If you only think in terms of what I have given, what I have done, what I have accomplished, then you've omitted and ignored the most important aspect of what you have done and what you have accomplished and what you have brought forth. Namely, none of that would be possible. You wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be taking your next breath were it not for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So in actuality, it's what Allah has facilitated for you, what He has given you as we call tawfiq. He has given you success. And every success is a divine success, because there's no success without Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No one is able to do anything by themselves. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shows us the archetype in the Quran of the type of person who thinks they can do things by themselves. Such as Pharaoh, such as Qarun. إِنَّمَا أُوتِيتُهُ عَلَى عِلْمٍ مِّنْ عِنْدِي. I have been given all of these things, my own knowledge, as Qarun said. أَنَا رَبُّكُمُ الْأَعْلَى, as Pharaoh said, I am your Lord Most High. This is a type of delusion, or ghurur, and it's the worst type of delusion, when you completely excise and take Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala out of the equation. And even though that is the worst and the most transparent type, there are lesser forms. If you think you've arrived to what you arrived at on your own, you are sorely mistaken. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is the one who gave you all that you have. So the first step towards muhasabah is to see what Allah has given me. And every single existent thing in the universe has two things that has been given by Allah. This thing, I didn't use the word yet, but we call it ni'mah, blessing. Every single thing in the universe has these two blessings. Ni'mat al-ijad wa ni'mat al-imdad. The blessing of existence to begin with, because before you existed, you were not. And your continuing existence. You're still here. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala huwa al-muhyi wal-mumit. He is the one who gives life and the one who takes away life. The one who gives life and the one who gives death. هو الذي أماتكم ثم أحياكم ثم يميتكم. He brought you out of existence, put you into existence, and He will take you out once more to give you a different type of existence. That's a great, great blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Every life then is important. Every life is sacred. Every moment of life you are given is sacred. وَإِن تَعُدُّوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ لَا تُحْصُوهَا وَآتَاكُمْ مَا كُلُّ مَا سَأَلْتُمُوهُ وَإِن تَعُدُّوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ لَا تُحْصُوهَا. You have been given everything that you have asked. And if you were even to try to enumerate the single blessing, it doesn't say ni'amillah, it says ni'matullah, one. How can you enumerate just one? Enumerate means count, tuhsu, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's only one that the verse is saying. La tuhsuha. You will not be able to count it. How is that possible? Because it's not about the blessing. It's about the one who's giving the blessing. It's about al-mun'im, the one who is bestowing it to you. And within the folds of a single blessing, في طي هذه النعمة نعم كثيرة لا تحصى. In the fold of one blessing, there are many, many blessings, except we don't realize it. We take for granted the very next breath that we're taking. We take for granted our heart beating. We take for granted our digestive system works. We take for granted that our kidneys produce urine. But Allah sends us reminders every once in a while. Perhaps through our own inability, our own sickness, or other sickness. What happens when your kidneys don't work? What happens when your liver doesn't work? What happens when your lungs don't work properly? What happens when your eyes don't work? What happens even if you have just a toothache? It completely incapacitates you. You can't do anything. These are all reminders, and if we realize the type of reminder that they are, they're blessings in of themselves. The gray that you see in your beard and your hair as you get older, it's a blessing. The squeaking of your knees as you get older, it's a blessing. It's a reminder. Can you imagine if we didn't have any of these reminders and we just thought we'd live forever? It's a wa'idh. It's a reminder for you. Allah is constantly reminding us. Every single thing that is sent our way, in that sense, is then a blessing. For how then can we enumerate the single blessing? So your muhasabah has to begin with this blessing. And don't get blessings confused. If you think I have a very nice house, and I have a very good job, and I have a very large bank account, and I have a very good 401k, and I have large equity account, these are all great blessings from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Alhamdulillah, I must have done great things. Not true. Not necessarily. It's a blessing, they said, هي نعمة لو أجمعك على الله وإلا فلا فهي فتنة. It's a blessing if it brings you to Allah. Anything of the dunya is like that. So wealth could be a blessing, and poverty could be a blessing. Wealth could be a fitna, and poverty can be a fitna. They are not blessings and fitan in and of themselves, because they can go either way. But what is the real blessing? If it brings you to Allah. So if Allah gives you the blessing, the ni'mah, and you use it in the right way, and you not become blinded by it from the bestower of the blessing, from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What happened to Sahib al-Jannatain, Surah Al-Kahf, that we're encouraged to read every Friday, this day? He thought he had everything. And if I were to return to my own, I wouldn't find better than this. نطق بالكفر. So his kufran in ni'mah, his rejection and lack of acknowledgement of the blessing became a fitna for him. And then this kufran, which is a similar word to kufr, led him to actually kufr. So his denial of the blessing, in other words, the owner of the blessing, the master of it, the one who gave it to him, his denial of that led him to denial of the bestower, namely Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That means, and ni'am, the blessings are your path to God, to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Every single thing that you have about you is a blessing. Your ability to walk, to talk. Don't let it become a fitna. Don't let it become a niqmah, the opposite of blessing. Because if it takes you away from God, if it takes you away from the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if it takes you away from fulfilling the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if it takes you away from avoiding the prohibitions of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's not a blessing for you. It's a niqmah. It's a fitna. وَأُمْلِي لَهُمْ إِنَّ كَيْدِي مَتِينٌ سَنَسْتَدْرِجُهُمْ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ وَأُمْلِي لَهُمْ إِنَّ كَيْدِي مَتِينٌ. Very important theological concept. Your material wealth in this world doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean Allah is pleased with you. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has something called istidraj. وَالْمُسْتَدْرَج, the one who is in this level or this way of istidraj, is been given a pause. They may have much, they may have a lot. But Allah is giving them a pause. وَأُمْلِي لَهُمْ إِنَّ كَيْدِي مَتِينٌ. I will give them a pause, but that doesn't mean they are free and clear. So how do I do this muhasabah? How am I interacting with my blessings, with my ni'am? How am I interacting with all the beautiful things Allah has given me? Am I using it in the right way? Am I using it to further my akhirah? Or is it something blocking my akhirah? Is it something that's going to, when I'm put in that grave, and there's nobody left, and everybody leaves, and the dirt is on top of me, and I'm aware of people leaving, and then I'm all by myself, all alone, and all that I have left to present, doesn't matter what type of car I was driving, or what neighborhood I was living in, or what job I had, or what people liked me, or people disliked me, all meaningless. The only thing that's going to be left, أنت وأعمالك, you and your deeds. You and what you have, قدمت لغد. You and what have brought forth for the next life. So we should have a daily muhasabah. We should have a weekly muhasabah. We should have a muhasabat al-anfas. A muhasabah of our very breaths that we take. For those who are ahl al-nazar, for those who are the people of contemplation, and the people of actualization, and the people who realize the myriad blessings in the single blessing. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless this beautiful congregation and to bless all of these beautiful souls before me and all of these souls that remind me of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the many, many blessings He has given us, and to give us the fortitude and to give us the forbearance and the patience to continue to strive in His path and in His way and to draw closer to Him, and to forgive all of those who have passed before us, to give them much rahmah, to give them al-shafa'a al-Muhammadiyya alayhi afdal as-salam, to give them all that they seek from this life and in the next. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وسألك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى اللهم استرنا بسترك الجميل ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب ربنا هب لنا رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا اللهم يا الله يا الله يا الله بجاه أسماء الله وصفات الله وأنبياء الله ورسل الله والصالحين من عباد الله ونقضي حوائجنا ظاهرا وباطنا وما أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه وما ارزقنا حسن الخاتمة نصر الله فتح قريب وبشر المؤمنين وعلنا على ذكرك وشكرك وحسن عبادتك واسألك العفو والعافية والمعافاة الدائمة في الدين والدنيا والآخرة ولك الحمد إذا رضيت ولك الحمد حتى ترضى ولك الحمد بعد الرضا ولك الحمد كالذي نقول ولك الحمد كالذي تقول ولك الحمد خير مما نقول ولك الحمد على كل حال يا عالم السر منا لا تهتك الستر عنا وعافنا واعف عنا كلنا حيث قلنا وأيقظ قلوبنا لك ونبهنا من الغفلة عنك ما يذكر لك ونبهنا من غفلة واجعل آخر كلامنا لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله كما صليت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم، وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما باركت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. عدد خلقه ورضا نفسه وزنة عرشه ومداد كلماته. And before we make Iqamah of the Salah, just people have asked for a few dua for those who are sick. Sister Narjis Pinjwini, Sister Hani, Sister Yara Yusuf, Shukra Karzai, Nasrin Harun Hussein, Ibrahim Rauf, Muhammad Wasim, and Deen Adam. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give them shifa al-ajil with tam, to give them a complete and speedy recovery, and to make it inshallah for them رفع الدرجات أو تكفير الذنوب بإذن الله. وأقم الصلاة.